Ladies and gentlemen and ladies and gents, I'm going to turn my volume down in my ear because I'm kind of loud. I know y'all know how loud I am. Look, there are some misunderstandings. Now, this is Agenda 21, the depopulation agenda for a new world order. It's on YouTube, but this is on Google, Yahoo, junk. Okay? Anyway, anyway, I just downloaded just to let some of you know that I ain't just sitting up here twiddling my thumbs. This is Torch. This is the Torch web browser. Out of all the web browsers that I played around with, this one they say is pretty fast. They say it's good for downloading music and videos. I don't care to download music and videos from websites. I have Vooz. See, Vooz. Vooz. I have Vooz for that. Okay. What I am proud of is how fast it is. It is pretty fast. It goes to the websites pretty fast. So that's Torch. See, I give credit. All right, let's. I'm gonna put some music in the background. That's right, I said music. We're gonna go to. I guess we can do emotional, but I don't want to be emotional. Well, we're gonna do some emotional music. Wait a minute. No, we're not. I know exactly what I'm gonna do. I already got it up. Okay. Let's see. Right there. And some of you have dirty minds. That's right. You got dirty minds.
I
Now,
won't be able to see you.
we're gonna go back a little bit. I want not that song. Well, you know what? Oh, come on now. Y'all know this song? And just like a river, you know, I've been running ever since. Now, this is probably Donny Hathaway. I'm not sure. But it's been done by so many people, including James Taylor, Al B. Al Green, and Leela James. I like Leela James' version, by the way. But I just want to let y'all know, it's called A Change Is Gonna Come. But I'm afraid to die. Why? Because I know. I do know what's up there, beyond the sky. But it's been a long, and I mean it's been a long time coming. But I know a change is gonna come. Alright, so let's do some talking. We're gonna lower all of this. We're gonna let the desktop show up. Look, people, I have a different computer, another computer. As you guys are always seeing, I have a lot of stuff going on my computer all the time. Okay? This computer can't handle the multitasking. It just can't handle it. I mean, look at this. This is the items on my desktop. Okay? Get out of here. Go. Okay. Then we got all this junk. It's all junk. None of it matters. What matters is the hard drive and the storage. So I told you guys about the cloud storage that is free. So that you can store your files, because what happens? Hard drives fail. Worthless pieces of junk. So, back up your files, people. I was hesitant. I was old school. Said, nah, why would I back it up on the cloud? Let Google have access to it. Skynet! I don't need Skynet having access to my files. Ladies and gentlemen, they got access to your files anyway. Oh, by the way, all of those of you who have video cameras on your phone, on your computers, that are built into the computer, even if it ain't built in, do yourselves a favor. Y'all listening? Put some tape over it. Black tape if preferable. Do you know why? You don't know why? Well, a change is gonna come. You see, the change is right now that these wonderful idiots who build these units, that's right, I call them idiots. Call them all idiots, because that's what they is. They all idiots. What they do, y'all, is they watch you. It's not paranoia. They literally built it that way. Do you know that all the so-called smart devices, the TVs now, will watch you, whether or not you want them watching you or not, monitoring what goes on in your home? Those of you who got children in school, yeah, I'm talking to you. Those of you who got children in school, and they give them computers because they want them to be caught up with the Joneses. Don't fall for that stupid stuff. They're monitoring the cameras and the microphone from a distance. You get a computer from a school, ladies and gentlemen, upgrade that junk. And then put your own virus scanner on there, so that it will tell you what functions are being accessed remotely or otherwise, and put a stop to it. Stop letting these idiots spy on you. I put a spy on you. Anyway, alright, I'm getting some water, y'all, because we got something to talk about. Now I'm going to try to get this video finished in less than 20 minutes. Think I can do it? We already wasted 6 minutes telling y'all about nothing. Sorry, I gotta take a swig, one moment, of agua, like Teddy Pendergrass said. As you can tell, that was more than a swig, but dehydration is a horrible thing for muscular dystrophy. I have to stay hydrated. Even when I forget to stay hydrated, I gotta stay hydrated or it's gonna be a bad day. Alright, so we're gonna talk about two things. First, we're gonna talk about the birth certificates. This is gonna be entitled Birth Certificates and Mortgages. Ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are sending a birth certificate, you're trying to figure out what you're getting out of the thing. What are we providing for you? Okay, first of all, when you send us your information, you send us the information that you would send to anyone else. Contact information, so just in case there's a problem with what you sent, instead of us sending it back to you with a letter telling you we need this, that, and the other, you can simply leave your number or your email address, and we will tell you, excuse me, you forgot to include this. Excuse me, did you want us to do this? Okay? Solves the whole problem. All we need is the affidavit and the birth certificate. Now I'm going to suggest something for some of you. Some of you have your authenticated birth certificates, and you have all of that attached to it with an affidavit. But your affidavit doesn't exactly say what our affidavits say. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not advocating your affidavit, but I'm going to tell you, it's okay. We will process it. We've already talked to the county recorders of the different county recorders that we're using, and they say they have no problem. We have a cover letter that explains every single time we send it in, they get the same cover letter because they know we've already examined the documents to make sure that the notary seal is visible and your signature is clearly placed on the document. Okay, that's all you need. We need a notary seal that is visible and your signature is clearly presented on the document. Okay? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, ladies. Ladies and gentlemen and ladies. Again with the birth certificates. We send it to them. We were going to have them send it directly to you. The problem with that is it's going to slow things down. So they're going to send it back to us. You say, how is that going to slow things down? They just send it to us. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we have to create a separate mailing label for each one of you, which is more time, more processing, and we don't want to sit up here and cost you any more time and processing. Plus, we want to make sure that when they send it back, they do it right. We don't want them sending it back to you and they didn't complete the task. Now, because so many people have been brought back to the tip of birth certificates, they are being overwhelmed, we're told. One person sent theirs in and it took 2 weeks. We're a week and a half now. But I'm staying on top of it. So we just ask for y'all to be a little bit more patient. We will be requiring some of you, well, technically those of you who want to be a part of the entire scheme, to get your name DBA'd. We're not asking you to set up a corporation. We're asking you to reserve a name, doing a DBA, registering it with the county. Okay? They're going to want to set up and do taxes and all that stuff. We're not doing that. You're non-profit. They got a problem? Tell them I'm non-profit. We ain't setting up. We're just reserving the name. Okay? That's all you're going to do is reserve the name. Then we're going to do your power of attorney. Not with us, but with the system. So you correct some things that you failed to correct. Okay? Then we going to make sure everybody knows that you're the grantor. Now we're going to process this paperwork for you. Now we will not pay for your DBAs. That's on you. The other paperwork we'll process because you've already paid for that. Remember, the 7th, the fees go up to $550. Like I said, that's the difference. $260 and $550. Ladies and gentlemen, $310 is the difference. Why? Because I miscalculated. That's what I get. That's what I get for trying to be so helpful and thinking that I could do everything for you on less than a shoestring budget. And that's what I get. That's why I told you I'm gonna eat the cost. Oh, I can donate money to you. I can pay more. I didn't ask you to. Told you I was gonna eat that. So let me eat it. Okay? I'm hungry. Let me eat that. All right. Birth certificates, that takes care of it. We're just letting you know briefly. You'll get a letter with your packet coming back to you, letting you know everything else forward, what's required of you. Okay? So many of you are calling me. Please understand, if you catch the attitude, you know that attitude that I get? Go watch the video. I already talked about that on video. 5 other people just called me about the same thing today. I already talked about that on video. Go watch the video. 5 other people just called me and talked about the same thing. Go watch the video. I talked about that on the video. What do you mean? If it says birth certificate, then that's what it is. If the video said you're to put the birth certificate along with the affidavit in the envelope, then that doesn't mean you make a copy of the birth certificate and then attach it to the affidavit and send it. God, ladies and gentlemen, you're getting that attitude because I got a lot of things to do and I don't have time to worry about tiptoeing on eggshells around your feelings. If you call me and you ask me a question that is obvious that you didn't pay attention to the video and you're too lazy to go back and pay attention, then don't get mad at me if I express my frustration. Because I've already told you all, I hate repeating myself. A grown man. See, that's what I'm talking about. Listen to that right there. There you go. Now, I shouldn't have to repeat myself. A grown man should not have to repeat himself. Why? Because he's the grantor. Once he speaks, that's law. He shouldn't have to repeat the law because everyone is required to know the law. So I shouldn't have to keep telling all of you the same thing over and over again because this is the reason. 1,000 other people got it and 5 didn't. So where is the problem? Is it with me? Because 1,000 other people paid attention and they got it and the other 5 didn't? Pay attention. Let's do logic. All right. Now, mortgages. Those of you, I'm going to make this quick. I can't go through too many details now, but I will in the future. Some of you are going through foreclosure. Okay, I'm going to give you advice. Advice that I know will put a crink in things and cause a problem. And I'm going to explain why you do every single thing I'm about to tell you. You're going to go and you're going to file bankruptcy. And when you file bankruptcy, I want you to do it in the all caps name. You got it? You're not going to file bankruptcy in your name. They're going to ask you for your social security number. And you're going to write it as if it's an EIN number. If they got dashes on the paper, you write over the dashes and you put the 1 dash after the 2 numbers. If they say you can't file it that way, say, well, that's the way I'm filing it. Say, if I can't file it that way, show me where it says I can't file my corporation's bankruptcy papers this way. You see, they're filing a complaint against you after you file bankruptcy. Why are they doing this? Because you're claiming to be bankrupt when you own an estate. So you're going to do the bankruptcy under your EIN number. And they're going to say, but you have to put your social security number. You tell them, I don't have a social security number. And you're right. You do not have a social security number. You have a social security account. Go ahead and ask them. Call social security department and say, what's my social security account information? You don't ask them what's my social security number information. You say, what's my social security account information? Because they'll say, I need the number so I can look up your account. So it's an account number, not a social security number. It's just identifying your securities or the fact that you have securities. And that's all we're trying to do is gain control of your securities. So understand, people. I can't make them do what they do. You have to. You don't do it by insisting. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what this is. I didn't ask this to pop up. I just looked and saw it. Wait a minute. What you mean bling? Get that out of my way. Okay. Sorry. I'm working on the other computer doing a couple of things, and it did what I needed it to do. And now I just took care of part of it. And now I'm about to take care of the other part of it. Because that's just the way it is. Alright, back to mortgages. You're going to file bankruptcy. If it's too difficult for you to file it the way I just suggested, what you're going to do is you're going to file bankruptcy. You're going to list the property as a homestead. The loan is unsecured. You're going to attach your asset, which means have your deed of trust handy and have your birth certificate handy, because you're going to put those numbers as assets. The deed of trust number, the birth certificate numbers with an S. You're going to document what each asset is. Remember, you're the grantor of the deed of trust, and the birth certificate, you are the owner. Can anybody argue with me about this? Because I've done too many videos showing you these facts. We're going to go to 30 minutes. Got to explain this point by point to you all. I know some of you say, no, you go ahead and explain it all. I'm too tired to explain it all, ladies and gentlemen. Too tired. All right, let's get back to, we got the assets, birth certificate, and the deed of trust as assets. Now, you're going to write a short little letter. When you're filing this, you're going to tell them that the bank been paid and that the law says that they were to apply for the mortgage default insurance. And you tell them the law is the trust agreement and that they are in breach of trust for failure to perform the duties of the trust. Go back and play this over, because I ain't going to say it over. Don't call me and ask me what's the next step. What did you say in the video? Because I'm going to tell you where you can go. Alright, now you got the bankruptcy taken care of and you filed it. You can use a bankruptcy preparer. You don't have to. Matter of fact, the lawyers are going to allow us to help prepare people's bankruptcies. But we're going to do something different, y'all. That bankruptcy you're going to let sit. They're going to say you got schedule A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. You got to process. Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, you don't want to file a 13. You want to file a 7 because a 7 you can walk away from. A 13 they can force you to participate. You can file an 11 for a corporation if you choose. That's your choice, not theirs. Okay, I want you to understand, I'd rather you file a 7. Why? Because the trustee, he's going to file a lawsuit against you, whereby you will become the defendant. Now, while that's doing what it's doing, what we're going to do here is we're going to go SAMPLE, and then we're going to
It's just a few more inches, and everything will be alright. Got those pills?
I need a sample bankruptcy case. The reason why I said sample bankruptcy case is because, and my problem is case search. That's what we do. Whew. No, from Wine County family. Nah. Phase 11. No, let's do this one. Because what I want you to see, and I don't have no names, y'all. I don't have no names. But it's asking us. When we're doing bankruptcies, we can do liens too. Now, if you, this is what I'm suggesting y'all do. Don't y'all understand? I'm suggesting y'all do research. Okay? Now, the reason why I'm suggesting y'all do research, because this is what I want y'all to do. Let's go California. Let's do Robert. And let's do Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know who Robert Smith is. Okay? But I know with a name like Robert and Smith, but I know it's going to tell me I need to pay to get this information. See? Says to get this one, you need to pay. I know this. Sacramento. Says access to report. Look at all these numbers. Look at that. Home. Look at that. I think it's going to tell me I need to pay. Now I can go online and pull it up. But I'm going to see what it's going to give me. See? Money. Money, 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 money. I don't want to spend. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what I want to do? And I don't want to put Robert's information out there. Not this particular one. Because he ain't did nothing to none of us. I just wanted to pull up the case. So, oh God. Come on, people. Yes, I want to leave this page. Asking me if I want to leave. These are all the different Robert Smith that filed bankruptcy in California that it pulled up. Okay? Now, I don't want to use this site because they trick you into going through all this and then they tell you got to pay. What I want to show you is where the defendant, ladies and gentlemen, is what you become. You're the one who filed the bankruptcy, but you become the defendant. But what you don't understand, you don't understand. So I'm going to explain it to you. The moment you become the defendant, that very moment that they list you as the defendant, that is no longer a bankruptcy case. That is a civil lawsuit. You're being sued by the trustee. It becomes a civil lawsuit. It's no longer a bankruptcy. Nobody brings this up. Go ahead and talk to any attorney and I guarantee you they'll say they never heard of such a thing. But go ahead and look at the bankruptcy papers and you'll see you're the defendant. I could show you one of these sites
Critical
again.
alert from Microsoft.
Yeah.
Your computer has alerted us that it is infected with the virus and spyware.
And I need to leave, y'all. This
virus
page is kicking
sending
my
your
butt.
credit card
Where
details,
is my mouse?
Facebook login, and personal emails
There
to
you go,
hackers
mouse.
remotely. Please
See?
call us immediately at the toll-free number listed so
I
that
need
our
to
support
leave.
engineers can walk you through the removal process over the
This
phone.
is how I'm going to remove it. Okay? That's what happens. So I can't use... I thought it was a good site. What is that, Torch? I thought it was a good site. But I clicked on something and it brought that junk up. So I don't have a bankruptcy example that I can show you. I wish I could show you my brother's where he was the defendant. Okay.
Where in the hell can I hide in one room? I looked around, looked under the bed. The bed was too low. Looked in the closet.
Okay. Let's do that. And then I'll type in bankruptcy here. See, it gives me definition of estate, and I didn't ask that.
That's when I jumped over the door ledge.
Let's do bankruptcy.
Hide everything but my boss. The husband walked through the door. The first thing he did, he looked up. He said, "Honey, what's that?"
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, don't file bankruptcy. California relief. Oh God, 100% free evaluation. Oh God. Anyway, I need the property of the estate. I don't need the estate. I just need a sample. No. I know what to do.
I just want to hear them ring one time. Picked up a newspaper, hit me across my left bone.
Let's see if we can find. No, that's that search thing. I know this takes longer, doesn't it, when I do the research in front of you? But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The reason why this takes longer is because I'm showing you exactly what I would do. See, I can't go to Pacer. We're gonna go to. Let's go here first. We'll go to Jessica. Jessica! Okay. Let's go. We're in the 9th Circuit. So let's go 9th Circuit. And let's go California District Court. And we're going to go with the Central District. And we're going to go with real property. No, whoa. What am I doing? We're going to go bankruptcy. Whew. Now, case is filed. Okay. Henry. Okay. Now, I want you to pay attention to this. This is the debtor. They call her the debtor. In the bankruptcy filing, she's not the debtor. Go ahead and take a look. Bankruptcy filing, she's the defendant. It is the clerk who changes that to debtor. But the case, the so-called trustee files the suit against you. So let's go here. Henry debtor. Okay.
I feel so freaky tonight.
Oh no, we ain't playing that. Y'all know this song. I don't do that. We ain't supposed to be going into no stupid 90s. Oh, it went to the next thing. Whew.
You're listening to 103.5 FM with DJ Amar.
Nah, I don't want to go to that one just yet, but nah, we ain't doing that one either. I want 60s, 70s, and 80s. Okay? Jaheim, all of y'all my boys. Key Sweat, you know you and I go a long way back, but we ain't going there right now. Ah, the enchantments. It's you that I need. Ladies and gentlemen, I know this is going to bring back some memories for some of you. It's you that I need. Love this song. Okay? Done real well. So we're going to take y'all back. I told y'all I'm going to take y'all there if you just let me. Alright, enough of that. Let's get back to bankruptcy. Like I said, my job, I was trying to show you all a case where the actual... See, this took me... I know what the problem is. You see, Central District, California cases. I clicked on bankruptcy and it sent me to appeals. Now remember, I'm looking for district court cases. And so it took me to appeals, so I'm going to go to bankruptcy from here. No, that's, these are some cases. Cases filed, plaintiff, defendant. But this is not bankruptcy. This is just court cases. I need bankruptcy. Dagnabbit. I think somebody filed a case against Bush, y'all. Oh, that's right. I chose the Ninth Circuit. That's what the problem is. That's what the problem. Ninth Circuit Appeals. So let's go back here. No, we can't go back there. We got to go back here. Now, let's see. All cases. And let's see. Not by circuit. Type of lawsuit. Bankruptcy. Like I told you, it's a lawsuit, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. No. Let's see. See, it's still circuit courts. And it's federal, but I should be inside the district, not inside the circuit. We're going to try one more time, then we'll go ahead and finish telling you what you need to know. Okay? The District of California, which is to say the District of Columbia. Everything that has a district is part of Columbia. If you didn't know that, then you're going to have to, and I suggest you go and read. That's right, I said read Thomas Clark Nelson. This is one. See, appellant and debtor. And this should be all caps. The debtor, not all caps. So let's go ahead and see what we get here. My brother just came back, so he may interrupt me and bother me, and I'm going to have to get on his case too. Because I'm doing what I'm doing is important. Showing y'all what y'all need to know. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't pull up what I'm looking for. So what I'm looking is to see where the defendant in a bankruptcy is called the defendant and is sued by the trustee. So what I'm going to suggest to all of you is just know that nobody can contradict what I'm saying. That everything I'm saying I can prove. So because the trustee files a lawsuit against the filer because they're not bankrupt and he sues you, let me explain why he does that. Because you're not bankrupt and you're filing for bankruptcy and you're doing it under penalty of perjury. So you're lying. So he files a lawsuit against you. But don't worry, you're not dead yet. You have a lot of power and you don't realize it. So let's talk about what power you have. You filed a lawsuit, he files a lawsuit against you. Now you're a defendant. Sorry, and now you're defending yourself. So in 30 days, within 30 days, what you're going to do, and we're going to go online right now. Where's my torch? There you go. We're going to try it. If it pops up again, then I won't use torch ever again. But like I said, I like torch because it was fast. Don't ask again. Okay, now, he files a lawsuit, you file a lawsuit against him. Let's do California. We do NOTICE. Notice of removal, California. Now you see that? Free vacate notice. Okay, don't care about that. Removal papers, California, United States District Court. Okay, now, there are two things that I can do. Okay, this is a notice of removal from the Superior Court. These are the procedures. That's the first thing I want you to do, is I want you to go here to know what the procedures are. This is the actual code. On the ForShare site for my YouTube channel, that ForShare site has these rules. You have 30 days to do a removal. See, each defendant, and only the defendant, can do a notice of removal. There are some cases where the plaintiff can do a notice of removal, but here is where you, the defendant, because you are the defendant, you do a notice of removal. But you're going to do something else. You're going to throw a monkey wrench into the whole scheme, the whole game. You're going to do a notice of removal, and you're going to do, let's do this right here. We're going to do COUNTERCLAIM, counterclaim. you're going to do a notice of removal and counterclaim. Now, there are plenty of things out there to let you know what a sample counterclaim is. See, watch this. S-A-M-P, that's an O. Okay, sample counterclaim. Sample of answer and counterclaim. Well, you're not doing an answer. But those of you who have to respond, if you ever get sued by anyone, you have to do an answer and counterclaim. So why don't we do that? Because that's going to be put in your notice of removal. Sample, answer, and counterclaim. There's tons of it out there, people, for you to find out what you need to do. But I don't know how. Google it. Google it. Stop calling me and asking me, how do I do this? How do I do that? Google it. Ask Google. Because that's what I'm going to tell you to do. Okay, now you got your notice of removal. And in your notice of removal, you do your answer and your counterclaim to his claim. And you're going to say that the bank got paid, the house has mortgage default insurance, and the bank is in violation of the trust agreement. Okay? Okay. Now, that we got that taken care of, I hope y'all satisfied, because now we're going to move forward, not backwards. We're going to move forward, not backwards. We do the notice of removal. We go to the clerk and we say, hey, clerk, I need some subpoenas under FED R dot CIVPRO. Uh-oh. I was typing, but it wasn't following me. See, that's a shame. All right. FED R, we can do dot Federal Civ CIV dot P dot 45. Ladies and gentlemen, subpoenas. Federal Rule, Civil Procedure, number 45. It follows Federal Rule, Civil Procedure, number 4. Let me show you what's the good thing about 45. Why this is so important, and why they hate Rule 45. And you're going to print up Rule 45. Now, we're going to just stop at number 3 right here. When you print up number 45, this is the part you're going to print up for the clerk. You see that right there? Just this section right here. Okay? Right here. Now I want you to pay attention to what it says. Because we were told, when we asked, they said, you can't get one of those. Only attorneys can get subpoenas. I said, really? Show me, please, where that law or that rule is. It's in Rule number 45. Really? Well, right here at number 3, issued by whom? The clerk must issue a subpoena signed by them, but otherwise in blank. You see, they have to sign it and put the seal of the court on it, but in blank. What it means otherwise? Well, because it's required to have the case number, the party names, and the name of the court. Well, their subpoenas already have the name of the court. You just have to put the district and the other information in there, and that's it. You don't have to put your requesting documents. See, notice to other parties before service if the subpoena commands production of documents. See, you don't have to put that in there. Why? But otherwise in blank, because that part can be left blank. That's what the rules say. To a party who requests it, not to an attorney, but to a party. Now, look, the party must complete it before service. So that means it's not complete. You don't have to complete it. It's in blank. Now, an attorney also may issue and sign subpoena if the attorney is authorized to practice in the issuing court. You see, attorneys don't have to get subpoenas from the clerk of the court. Only attorneys can get subpoenas. That's a lie. We're not talking about this part right here, and I just got what they were saying. We are not talking about that. It says the attorney may issue a subpoena. But if I'm a pro se litigant, am I not considered the attorney? Am I not authorized to practice law. But we're not doing that. We're not arguing that. I'm just telling you have the right to get subpoenas. Pretty soon I'll put up the list. I have to either speak it into the computer or type it into the computer. If anybody wants to help me with typing up some documents, if you have the skills, I can't pay you. But if you want to volunteer to help me help others, and you have some typing skills, and I'm not talking about some mediocre typing skills, I'm talking about some of those, I was a secretary for 85,000 years typing skills. I can type up a novel in less than 15 minutes typing skills. Then you can contact me. I would appreciate your assistance. Thank you very much. All right, now you got your notice of removal approval. Notice of removal filed on the record. You got your bankruptcy that you filed. Oh, by the way, the reason why you do the notice of removal before 30 days is so that the automatic stay that comes with a bankruptcy filing stops the foreclosure. Now they got to put it off for some time. So now you're still in your home. But wait, hold on a minute. Remember, you filed bankruptcy. Now you do a notice of removal. You do a counterclaim and you demand a jury trial. Do not forget to demand a jury trial. Do not forget to demand a jury trial. Okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to explain that the reason why you're filing this notice of removal is because somebody filed a lawsuit against you. A civil lawsuit. And they did so in bankruptcy court. Well, bankruptcy court is not the proper jurisdiction for civil lawsuits since the federal district court has original jurisdiction within the district. So you're removing it to a proper jurisdiction, and you're bringing a counterclaim since someone filed a new lawsuit against you, the trustee. You have a right to defend yourself, and you have a right to settlement. Set off. Set off. You definitely want to demand set off. What does that mean? Well, they claim they have a amount you owe, and you give them an amount they owe. And because they have breached the agreement, because they've already been paid, and because they're committing constructive fraud, you bring treble damages as your claim. And so the guy whose house is worth probably about $900,000, we brought it for $9.8 million. Please don't bring it for $108 billion. Even what I did was probably a little much. Okay? Probably a little much. But we filed it anyway. But you let them know that because they filed suit against you, you have the right, and you have the right to be in a proper jurisdiction. You get me? Got me? Good. Okay, ladies, gentlemen, ladies and gents. Now that we have that resolved, we get to what do we do next? Well, now you have to get the evidence. That's what the subpoenas are for. You also have to contact the securitization trustee who's handling the securitization of the deed of trust as it's being traded. Now they're going to say, you don't have a deed of trust. Yours is a security deed. Ladies and gentlemen, don't let them play that stupid ignorance with you. The fact that it is a trust and it is a deed of trust. Okay, it doesn't have to say deed of trust. What you want, and all you want for right now, is to find out where your interest is. Because you're due interest for every single year that deed of trust was traded on the market. People, that's a lot of money. I'm sorry, ducats. That's a lot of trinkets. That will get you comfortable. That will say, oh, you fools want this house? Y'all can have this house. I don't care about this junk. Bought me a mansion yesterday. That's right. Okay. I'm rich. I'm sorry. This is my suggestion for those of you who have foreclosures coming up. Yes, they've been doing so many foreclosures, but you guys have been bringing forth the wrong arguments. So the fact that you have mortgage default insurance, you need to be complaining about that. You need to be complaining about that. In a moment, Satcom will be offering services helping people with their mortgages. I haven't left that alone. In a minute, Satcom will be bringing forth the lawsuit and telling you exactly what will be needed in order for us to move forth with the lawsuit. I haven't walked away from that. And of course, you all know, when I do this, they're going to want to play with me again. Please understand that they don't want you. They want me. I'm the guy who's big mouth. I'm telling everybody and everybody. And they don't like the fact that I'm telling everybody. Al Green, tell them. See? Al Green said, if you mess with me, you can't set me free, woman! Okay. Al Green, y'all. Mr. Grits himself. Just kidding. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gents, there you go. There you have it. You have the information on the birth certificates. You have the information on mortgages. What happens after we file the lawsuit? Get there first and then ask. You ain't even got there yet and you're sitting up there trying to ask about the future. You didn't do that when you signed the mortgage note. When you signed that promissory note, did you? You didn't do that when you got the ticket, did you? When the judge said, hey, do you understand everything I just told you? All the rights that I just read to you? Do you understand the charges I just read against you? You didn't say, hey, what'll happen if I say yes? Did you? No, none of you said that, but you have the right to say that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do that the next time if ever I'm before a judge and they ask me if I understand. I'm going to say, what'll happen if I say yes? And then I'm going to say, what'll happen if I say no? Then I'm going to say, you know what? No, I don't want to feel like playing with y'all. I'm not playing this game. I'm not even not understanding. I refuse to participate. And I'll remain silent from that point on. Now, y'all can't do what I do. Hey, Freddie Jackson, tell him. There's something that I want to say. What was it I wanted to say? I wanted to say that you all should have a good day. You should have a good night. You should have a good weekend. This is Friday, November 4th, 2016. Please stay tuned as more information will be coming your way about mortgages, about the infant estate, about the different things you must do to get control of your securities. Remember, we're still got to talk about why the Treasury Direct account is so necessary and the Fidelity account. Ladies and gentlemen, please do not call me and say, but I called them and they said no. What can I do? I'm not their boss. I don't get to tell them what to do. So if one of these agencies, one of these departments tell you no, shouldn't you be asking to speak to a supervisor? Yeah, that's what I thought. But you all are calling me as if I'm Captain Save-A... Ooh, almost said that word. Ho. That's right, Captain Save-A-Ho. I am not Captain Save-A-Ho. I am not here to save any hoes, okay? I got enough garden tools. So my suggestion is that you call and speak to supervisors. You call and speak to executive customer relations. That you call. Do the work, because you can't learn if I'm always telling you what to do and doing it for you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and ladies and gents, thank you for taking the time. And Freddie Jackson, take us out of here.